There it goes.
Heck yeah, man. What's going on?
Now we're recording.
It happened. that's the best review I can come up with. I rolled into friends and I was talking to and people at work and at the game. I was like, it happened. I don't know what to do.
Me neither. Me neither, man. It was a lot easier to talk after Game 5.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's all good.
Man, one of the things upset me a lot, and you can kind of get the feel like, oh, I get it. You're not from here. Is there was a lot of news anchors on Atlanta news like, party like it's 1999. Like, no, the hell you better not. Because nobody want to party like it's 99. Yeah, that's the last time we went. Guess what? Didn't go so well. You want to party like it's 1995. And the people that actually printed the T-shirts got it right. So, anyway, the Fox 5 team and a local Atlanta, not from here, and had no idea that, no, you don't want to party like it's 1999. As all due respect to Prince, not around here.
How could they miss the opportunity to say party like it's 1990 Fox 5?
Yeah.
How could they miss that opportunity?
Yeah.
It was right there, man.
Just total idiots. First and foremost, that's just, right off the bat, it's just to be like, oh my God.
The 99 World Series, not to focus on something negative, but I just like to point it out because it makes sense to me. The 1999 World Series is one of the strangest things ever because the Braves in 1999 were so good, and people in this town still talk like it was this huge upset.
Yeah.
As though the 1998 Yankees weren't historically fantastic. The Braves were not favored to win that series. I don't know where it's the same thing. People do it with LeBron all the time. LeBron James been to the NBA Finals, 10 times? He's like 4-6, isn't he?
Yeah.
I believe that's correct. I think he's 4-6 in the NBA Finals. Do you know how many times he was favored to win the NBA Finals? Twice. 2 times. And the thing about being a favorite in 2 of those is one of them is one of the ones he lost. So the guy's won 4, one of which he was favored in. That's absolutely shocking, man. That's crazy. But no one ever talks about that part. It's like, well, but Dallas, yes, they were favored to beat Dallas. That's about it. It's about it because the Spurs, people get huffy about the Spurs. Oh, the Spurs killed them the next year. The Spurs were supposed to kill them both years because that Spurs team that beat them, nobody talks about it. It's the only downside about LeBron. It frustrates me. People were so happy and thrilled that he lost that nobody talks about what that Spurs team was. Oh, my God. If you can just unequivocally pick the best team Greg Popovich has ever had, that's saying something right there. I'm pretty sure it was 2014. I might have my years wrong, but the 2014 Spurs, get out of here. That's just stuff like that makes me nuts. And it's just, I hate the revisionist history of the 99 Braves, greatest team there ever was, and they didn't win. It's like, y'all, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's been great to win. But at the same time, if we won in 99, this year wouldn't have been as special. So, party like it's 1990 Fox 5.
Yeah. And I guess first and right off the bat, I have to be one of those people I'm including myself in this. Apologies to Will Smith. I was one of the guys saying all year, he's just not a closer. He's not a closer. And gets to the postseason and shuts everybody the hell up. And going back, even like everybody was bitching and moaning going into the playoffs, like 88 win team. What the heck? And I was one of the guys at the deadline. I was like, not our year. They're going to blow the team up. We're going to ship everybody off. And good brother Alex was like, watch this here, brother.
This is really going to sound negative, and I hope that doesn't sound as negative as I'm afraid it's going to. People tend to forget that Alex knows that he's operating on borrowed time. Because our last GM before Andopoulos got kicked out of baseball. Not Atlanta, baseball. Because that's how many rules he broke to sign guys, to draft guys, to get guys in place. So Atlanta's like draft embargo is yet to come. So thank God we won now, because the fallout of not being able to sign anybody, not being able to draft anybody, that's still coming. So thank goodness, because man, if you don't get it now, you can't get it. All the more reason for Andopoulos to go out and do whatever the hell he can. And then I guess what I'm trying to say is this: when, not if, when Alex Andopoulos leaves Atlanta, he needs to, because the longer he sticks around, he's gonna fall into that Paul. I can't believe I forgot the name of that guy that got us in so much trouble. But we don't talk about that anymore, which is totally cool. It's just that I don't know, that's really negative. But I'm thrilled we won when we did, and I'm very happy that we've signed some guys long term. And I know Freddie is still on that's been a huge thing all summer. It's like, you can't get Freddie Freeman max money. And I'll be honest, I should be able to tell you who this was, and it's very crappy of me that I can't, because if it was negative, I could tell you that. But anyway, it's a guy that was on First Things First, and it's not what's his face? It's neither one of the two guys that drive me nuts because they're on there all the time. Broussard and I can't remember his name. Nick Wright, I think. But it's the other dude, the dude that looks kind of like Jim Lampley. He made the best point about Freddie Freeman, period. He's like, yes, if you're the Atlanta Braves, you are going to have to pay 35, 36, 37-year-old Freddie Freeman more money than you want to pay a 35, 36, 37-year-old. Now, think of this as signing Derek Jeter. You pay extra money for leadership, and you are paying this guy the money that you basically have stolen from him the last 5 years, because you've had him on a better deal than you should have got him for. And I'm like, you go ahead and you preach it, brother, because you're exactly right. And I'm hoping that Atlanta will be one of those, because Atlanta has always seemed to be a pretty good organization. Get all the way up to the top, it's pretty good. So, man, anybody in sports talk land, because like you said, none of those people are from here. That's all Miami and Upper East Coast, that they couldn't hack it in like major sports talk markets. So they had to move down here. They have no ties to Atlanta. They don't care about the team. So when they start whining and bitching about Freddie Freeman, 37 years old, making $37 million this year. No, fuck you, man. Nobody cares about your opinion. Fuck you. I loved his point. He's right. We have gotten Freddie. It's the same thing when Acuna's deal comes up. If you can keep him in Atlanta, or whoever signs Ronald Acuna to his next deal is going to get fleeced, because he cut us such a good deal for his prime years right now.
Yeah.
That's how it works, man. That's what agents are for. Yes, they suck, but you know what? Owners suck too. I thought it was really cool, and I do hope they keep Freddie. Now, if they freaking pay him, because he deserves it. But what a good way to break it down, and not just that, hey man, you've gotten him cheap all these years, but man, Freeman's the face of your organization, and he is obviously a hell of a locker room guy. So, dude, hey, you can pay for that. I got no problem with the team paying for that.
This isn't a Joe Flacco situation.
He's not well set. Seriously, we're not signing Kirk Cousins here.
It's sitting like, well, I don't know. He bet on himself. Now we have to deal with it. Now he's already shown I'm the guy.
Dude, MVP in the World Series championship, man.
Yeah, man. So
I almost said World Series MVP, but I understand that was not him that got that, so I had to stop it there in the middle.
Very, very rarely, especially in the case of the Braves, does the going into the World Series, the guy you would pick never wins the award.
Baseball's like that. It's one of the reasons that, and this is crap, and I don't mean to like go down a wormhole with it, man, but it's one of the reasons that NBA Finals MVP drives me nuts, because NBA Finals MVP being the award literally only exists because Michael's got the most of them. We had to dig that far to find something that Michael had the most of, because he ain't got the most rings, and he ain't got the most points, and he ain't got the most wins, and he ain't got the most scoring championships, and he ain't got the fill in the blank. But he's got the most Finals MVPs, so that's the award. And people want to act like that's a bigger deal than the MVP award itself. In baseball, it ain't like that, because you get a guy. Dude, more time. It's amazing how many I still haven't thought of the kid whose name I was trying. I've still got Skip Schumacher stuck in my head, and that's not who it was. But we talked about it last time, man. 2011 World Series. Cardinals had that dude that got David Eckstein stuck in my head. It wasn't him either. I'm sorry. I hope this will come back to me, because it's making me nuts. But got absolutely white hot in the NLCS and the World Series and won the MVP of both of those series. And man, it's easily the highlight of his career. But what a highlight! I don't mean it like in a bad way. That's freaking awesome. It's like Brooks Robinson used to talk about in the let me get it right. Oh shucks, I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna get it wrong. I believe it was 1970 when the Orioles played the Reds, and he's just talking about how I never played 6 games like that in my entire career in a row, but the one time I did it, it just happened to be the World Series. It's like, what a cool way to be, man. He's got such a cool attitude about it. And he's Brooks Robinson, for God's sake, man.
Yeah. I mean, you think, I've strung some pretty good streaks together, but if you're gonna have your best one, have at it, brother.
What a nice time to do it, for real, man.
Go Soler on that ass.
Dude, yeah, seriously, man.
And that's been, everybody's immediate thing to be like, oh, what are they gonna do? I don't see Freddie leaving, but stranger things have happened. I just if that does happen, it will be a Wayne Gretzky press conference where it will be hard. It'll be hard.
Yeah, I agree. It will suck if he leaves. It's all on the team, man. If they want to do right and pay him, cool. And if they don't, hope he gets loaded somewhere else, man.
Yeah, because that's from what we know now. With the majority of the guys that did come in middle of the season, like the whole outfield that Alex had to put together, is going to be gone.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that wasn't a shock, but somebody like that, I think it's like, man, you just got to. And another good old Braid that had some redemption in this World Series was freaking Kyle Wright, who was you at the trade deadline at freaking the last day of the season. If you just said, Kyle Wright's going to show up in the World Series and kick some ass, they'd be like, you bullshit. And it freaking happened. Oh, the bullpen games. What we gonna do about the bullpen games? Oh, Jesus. And Kyle showed up.
Anytime I hear the term bullpen game, I go right back to the first conversation we had about this, and I quote you. It's all like, they got one too, right? And see, that's what makes me crazy about it. Is all I heard about going into Game 6 is, oh man, young fireballer from Houston. Oh man, he's rested. He's rested. I mean, he's never pitched on 3 days before, but he's rested. Well, make up your mind. Is he rested, or has he never pitched on 3 days before? But something along those lines, as far as starting pitching goes, that's all I heard about was who they were starting. Didn't hear nothing about our guy. Yeah. Let's talk about our guy.
Oh, good brothers.
I thought Tony Kornheiser. I want to give Tony credit for this, man, because of course Wilbon. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the Braves. I got nothing to say. Of course you don't, because it's Atlanta, and fuck you. I don't know what happened to him in Atlanta, what happened to his girlfriend in Atlanta, what happened to his dad. I don't know what happened to him in Atlanta, but he's a fucking prick and he hates this place. So you know what? Go back to the north side and fuck off. That's how I feel about fucking Mike Wilbon. Fuck him. Yeah. Kornheiser, every now and again, Tony Kornheiser will pull a full
he's familiar with playing the Braves, with being a Nationals guy.
Yeah, dude. He'll pull a Lee Corso every now and again, where Lee is a very interesting cartoon character when he's in cartoon character mode. But every once in a while, he will slip back into full-on coach mode, and he will just say boom, 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 boom. And every bit of it makes sense, and it's awesome, and it's like, crap, I wouldn't have thought of that at all. I'm glad somebody with coaching experience said that, because what a neat perspective. And Tony Kornheiser will do that as like a beat writer with his little notepad making all of his, like, I'm a sports journalist, and he'll get it. And the point he was making is like, let me tell you something. Max Fried won Game 6 after the first inning. And he's like, here, I got to go to the notes because I want to get it right. I love when he does that. He gets his big legal notepad and his glasses. I want to get it right. Go to the glasses because I want to get it right. And he's like, the first two batters of the game got to first and second. That's the last time anybody from Houston got to second base through the sixth inning. Because anytime he said they had two base runners, and he said three. Sorry, they had three base runners, two of which got wiped out by double plays. But what an awesome thing to point out Get the first two guys on, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, let's get serious now. And then Mo. And I'm like, that's so cool that he pointed that out and watched the game close enough to notice, because it's like Houston hadn't got anybody to second since the first inning. Houston hadn't got anybody to second since the first inning. That's a very cool thing and a very astute thing for clearly a baseball writer to notice. I'm like, go on, Tony. It was cool, man. Like you said, him being a Nats guy, it can't be easy to praise the Bravos, but he did. And I'm like, well, thanks, man. That's cool. Because, again, like I said, Wilbon just took the day off because it was Atlanta. And can we talk about the Cubs now? But at least Kornheiser paid attention, man.
Max is one of those dudes that will get pissed off in a good way.
Yeah, man.
And that's exactly what happened.
How appropriate for Max Fried to go out, have two runners right at the beginning, and then be like, okay, that's enough of that shit, because if that ain't Tom Glavine, buddy, because we've talked about it before, Tom Glavine, especially, I mean, really for most of his career in Atlanta, but especially in the postseason, brother, if you don't get him early, you're not getting him. It's unbelievable. It's like it's so many. They would talk that, like with Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz especially, it's like swing at the first pitch. It's the only thing you're going to get. But man, if they get past the first inning, and Glavine especially, I've heard people really break it down with him. Man, if Tom's out of the first inning, you're done. Oh man, you have a long day. If you don't get him early, you won't get him. I'm like, well, that's just appropriate as hell. Go on, Max.
And with through the entire postseason, Brian Snitker managed his butt off. But that was the one nitpicky thing that, Max had one of those first innings where, me being, because I'm conditioned to be nervous, and the narrative of Atlanta teams is we choke. And so bottom of the ninth, when it was 7-0, I was like, I don't know, guys. I don't know.
So I had to see it. It's interesting you mentioned that, man, because my main thing with the Atlanta or City of Chokers thing is based off what, 28-3? Because that's all anyone talks about. That's what ESPN was so fucking mad we won, because they wanted to bring that shit up again. They wanted it so bad. You could tell. Because after Game 5, that's all anyone talked about. Not Houston winning. And the whole thing is, it was a rally. Oh my God, they rallied. We had a fucking grand slam in the first inning. You do know that the game's not over after the first inning, right? I mean, that shit just drives me nuts. Oh, man, they were up 4 in the first inning. That shit just drives me so crazy. If we had a grand slam in the 8th and lost, then you got a story. That just drove me nuts. Anyhow, and also, it just went away real fast, didn't it? There was way more coverage about Atlanta not winning Game 5 than there was about them winning the World Series. And I know it's because, oh my God, we can turn it into a story about Tom Brady. Oh, we can talk about the NFL. I know that's what they were doing. It's what they were hoping for, but too bad it sucks, doesn't it? Anyway, I got sidetracked. Sorry, man.
That's if there's one thing that Max had, just one of those Glavine kind of nights where he probably could have just said, get me one. Ended up getting him 7, but if there's one nitpicky thing that some people could say about Snitker's, like pulling him in the 6th, I was like, I don't know, man, leave Max out there. But at the same time, if he goes out there and it gets blown up, then it's just a story, Like, he should have gone back to him.
Oh, dude, so, it's Pedro in 2004. Pedro Martinez is the baddest motherfucker walking the earth on 2004. So, they left him out there. They had him pitch the 7th. And it's like, y'all got to calm the fuck down, because if do you want to go face Pedro Martinez? He's the baddest pitcher in baseball at the time. And the Yankees just got him. Just I hate shit like that so much, because if you will go on the record with what you are thinking in real time, you can write that article. But if you won't, keep that shit to yourself. You telling me you would have pulled Pedro Martinez? Fuck you, man. You're wrong. Jimmy Williams made the right call, and it just turned out to be it's the same thing where it's like people will always talk about a play, particularly in the NFL, where a guy will be rolling out to his strong side, throw back across his body, And fortunately, the ball gets tipped twice and the tight end winds up catching it. That doesn't make it a good throw. It means it's a productive play. It's still a terrible fucking decision. And you can make the right decision, and sometimes it doesn't work out. I hate stuff like that. It's like, well, because you didn't win, it was the wrong decision. Not necessarily, and I understand that you need nuance, and God forbid, because you ain't going to try and write for that shit. That's not what you do. Because whether you like it or not, if you're in journalism, you're in tabloids. That's all you guys do anymore. Anyway, sorry, got sidetracked. But yeah, it's true. When they pulled Max, it was all like, okay. But at the same time, I got a text from a buddy of mine when we were up 5-0. And we were texting back and forth during game 5, and then we lost. So then she wrote me during game 6, and I'm like, I just left my phone. I was like, no, they have to get through the 7th before I can reply to that.
Yeah.
And they got through the 7th, and I was like, explain, like, okay, here we go. Didn't mean to leave you on red. I'm sorry about the delay. We just had to get through 7 because I'm paranoid. And then the conversation didn't pick up until the 9th inning because I didn't turn over and watch it until the bottom of the 9th because I just knew that I can't do it. I just can't do it. Once I know they've won, I'll go back and watch the entire game. It'll be fantastic.
That's through the series in Milwaukee, redemption in Los Angeles, and in Houston. The games, it wasn't Houston losing. It was we won. Yeah, the games that we won.
Yeah, that's the only thing that frustrated me about like the narrative of the World Series is like, how the fuck are you guys just gonna act like these motherfuckers didn't get caught cheating in the year they won the World Series to make us the bad guys? Are you fucking kidding me? I know you're pissed at Arthur Blank, and boy howdy, we're about to turn that corner because it's 2021. You're only 5 years away from now till Arthur Blank basically takes a big old shit on the NFL and is like, yeah, fuck you guys, I was right. I know you guys don't like Arthur. Arthur doesn't own the Braves. But you that mad at him that you want Atlanta to be the bad guy in a series against the fucking team that you know cheated to win their World Series. Not Barry Bonds, who you guys absolutely despise, but at the same time, when Bonds was taking everything under the sun, guess what wasn't illegal in baseball? Steroids. Performance-enhancing drugs. They weren't fucking illegal. So get the fuck over it. If your team wasn't smart enough to do it, fuck off. That's your fault. Yeah. But we hate Barry because he was mean to our reporters. But Houston, who were caught cheating, well, they're going to rally. They got to win, right? And it's all, well, Dusty Baker, it'd be such a nice story. Are you out of your fucking mind? You guys have run Dusty Baker down for 3 decades, but now because he's coaching Houston, or more up to the point, he's coaching against Atlanta. Really? I mean, I get that Atlanta is just the most hated sports team in the world for exactly the point I just made. Let me be clear to anyone that hasn't seen us before. I have a conspiracy theory that Arthur Blank building a soccer stadium in Atlanta and putting an MLS team in there, it led to some hurt feelings for an NFL owner to have an MLS team too. But the fact that he built that stadium, and I'm proud to say, I've been on this bent for a long time, he built that stadium for the World Cup. He basically said, fuck your Super Bowl. I'm going to get that because I'll have the newest stadium. I'm going after the World Cup, and they got it. 2026 is coming to North America, not just because of that stadium, but partially because of that stadium. Because once he built that, Vegas and Los Angeles looked and said, that's the benchmark. That's why the World Cup's coming. And if there's anything in this world that NFL owners cannot stand, it's the World Cup. Because you think your Super Bowl is a big deal. It's not. It's not. So it's like, that's my conspiracy theory as to why Atlanta is the most hated sports town in all circles of sports media. Because the NFL is, we're all held in thrall by the NFL. They own everything. So the fact that this guy's like, I'm going to make NFL money, but I'm going to do this thing too, it makes all y'all mad. Because Arthur Blank's Mr. Home Depot, he was a gajillionaire way before he got in the NFL, and it makes y'all mad that he's still good at making money. Anyway, got sidetracked. But seriously, tell me that's not good evidence that y'all really going to take the Astros over the Braves as the good guy? Good luck, man. That's ridiculous, man.
It's a tough sell right there, brother.
Oh, dude, you're not going to redeem the Astros. You guys only ran them down every day for 2 years, and then all of a sudden, but they're not Atlanta. So it's like, okay, well, that's not going to be enough for very many people, man.
Heck yeah. So, man, it was a good time, fun time. You know, as cool as it would have been to end it in Game 5, something in me was, before the series started, I was like, I'm thinking 6.
I hate to say that anytime I predict any series final, it's whoever I think is going to win in 6. I'm a sucker. I do it every time, so I understand. I'm with you.
Yeah, man. And that's another, after the narrative of Atlanta teams choking, it's Atlanta fans don't show up. And that battery was packed every damn night.
The battery was so packed that the cops had to show up and tell people, you got to get
You better have a ticket.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they absolutely had to invoke new rules, and they had the whole, like, Atlanta fans don't show. Get the fuck out of here, especially now. Mm-hmm. See, this is Atlanta, in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but it's just my opinion. This is a post-Atlanta United Atlanta. We talked about it. They called that team Atlanta United for a reason, because the whole Atlanta fans don't show up, that was 2 whole generations of carpetbaggers and people that moved here. Guess who's pulling for the teams now? Their kids and their grandkids who are from here, who were born here, who live here, and who love these teams. So it's a brand new fucking day in Atlanta. You better damn well believe, because that's exactly why they called the team. Calling a soccer team United is hardly a new idea, but the theory, the idea behind calling them Atlanta United is pretty damn cool. But the whole point being that any team in Atlanta going for, hey, man, that's where the fan base is, man. Excuse me, people still move here all the time, but a lot of people, that's been happening for a long time. So the kids and the grandkids of the people that moved here in that first wave, hey man, the Atlanta teams are their teams, dude. So no, you guys got that one wrong. All the home games sold out just like World Series games do. And like you said, man, for when they were in Houston, they were beating people away from the battery. They called it the battery for a reason, because that's what you would get if you went down there.
How many times has the World Series winning team damn near sold out their stadium to watch the big screen?
Yeah, to just sit there and look at the screen. You're totally right, man.
And I love that team. I was calling those people crazy for going out and doing it. You're gonna go, and they didn't open up the stadium for people to come watch. They sold tickets.
Yeah.
To go watch the screen in the cold. Atlanta gets cold, and I could not believe it.
These morons went and did it.
Yeah. And sure enough, they did.
Yeah, don't you know? Well, you know who won the pony? I love that expression.
When you watch some of the fan videos, it doesn't look impressive, because you have to consider they couldn't sell the outfield seats because you couldn't see the damn thing.
Nothing to look at out there.
So all the seats are sold on the other side, and that shit was packed. And so it was awesome. So in a year that could see, we've already seen a World Series win and a potential national title, and the Hawks are going to be damn good. My heart might blow up. That's what I'm trying to say. I might explode.
This is what we're looking at here in the state of Georgia. Atlanta won the Braves won the World Series. Got individual teams, I forgot. Braves won the World Series. Hawks are going to be fantastic. United officially punched their ticket to the playoffs today, and the University of Georgia.
They're calling this that could be the best defense ever. I'm not ready to say that. I want to say that. I'm just not ready to say that.
It's what you and I were talking about last week. If you don't watch them play, which I have not, if you don't know anything about them, just look at the points against. The same thing we talk about all the time, man. You can talk to me all the day about, oh man, we won 45-6. I'm sorry, to what? To 6? You put 45 points on the board and gave up 6. And the point I'm making is that if you score 45, how many times are you giving them the ball back? and you only give up 6. It's exactly what we talked about last week, man. Look at the points against University of Georgia defense this year. It is terrifying. I'm a Tech fan, man. We have to play against them. I'm serious. Terrifying is the perfect adjective. It is a shocking, shocking defensive crew, and it's the only thing that matters. Dude, if you've got a defense that good, your offense can be passable. And Georgia's offense is way better than passable. It's the same thing with, like, best college teams ever. Skip and Shannon were arguing about that, where anybody, I'll just go ahead and tell you, I don't know who at ESPN decided that 01 Miami was the 3rd best team of all time, but it's like, y'all know you're lying. You know you're lying. You know you're lying. 01 Miami is the greatest team that has ever been and ever will be. Are you going to bet Ken Dorsey? That's Skip Bayless's take. You're going to bet on Ken Dorsey? You fucking right.
We're talking about college ball, yeah.
Exactly. Because Ken Dorsey is turning around and handing the damn ball to Clinton Portis. On top of that, all I got to do is get 7 points, because who the fuck is going to score against them kids, man? They said, all you got to know is this. Sean Taylor, the safety, Sean Taylor, that everyone knows now because that story is so horrible, but he went to Washington and he was making a name for himself and he was a really good player, and then somebody broke into his house and killed him, which just sucks. But if you can take the tragedy out of it and just look at Sean Taylor as the player, he really was a spectacular player. Understand, on that defense, he didn't start. Because guess who was there waiting? Sean Taylor was waiting on to graduate, or not graduate, but leave and get drafted. Ed Reed. Go up and down the list of the defense of 2001 Miami, and you will crap your pants. They're the best team there's ever been, and everyone knows it. So just calm down with that. I think it was, here's my thing about the best college teams ever. According to ESPN, all of a sudden they've decided Vince Young's Texas team is the greatest team of all time. Real cute that perfectly coincides with Texas joining the Southeastern Conference. If you think that none of us noticed, and by none of us, I mean any of us, because everyone noticed, you're wrong. We all know exactly what you're doing. So you picked Texas in 2005 and Tim Tebow's Florida Gators. That's 1-2. And then 01 Miami is 3. Anybody with any logical sense knows, okay, well, the list obviously officially starts at 3. Anyhow, sorry. But Sean Taylor, point I was making, Sean Taylor and Willis McGahee, Kellen Winslow Jr., I've always thought was kind of overrated, but for the point of this conversation, it works. Those 3 guys, they couldn't see the field in 2001 because of Ed Reed, because of Jeremy Shockey, and because of, Clinton Portis. That's all you got to know, man. Your freaking second stringers include those guys, those perennial Pro Bowl guys. Get the hell out of here. Ain't nobody beating that team. 01 Miami's all you got to know about 01 Miami is they were so good that in 2002, the second string version of that team had Larry Coker coach them to the national championship game. Man, what else do you need to know, man?
Yeah.
Larry Coker's the luckiest guy that ever lived, man, and good for him. What a cool ride, man. Butch, are you sure you want to leave? Okay, then.
Bye.
Yeah, you enjoy Cleveland, Butch. Bye.
Dummy.
Seriously, man.
Sucker.
Way down here coaching this here team in Coral Gables, man. You ever been to Cleveland? It's not Miami.
Hell no.
That's Larry Coker.
I ain't got that good Bam Bam up there in Cleveland. I tell you what. I don't care what you say.
Pick Cleveland over Miami. Okay, then. That's like that if Larry Coker making fun of Butch Davis to his face, man.
The perfect Georgia years, not always. They didn't. Chase Elliott didn't win the championship, but you can't have it all. His teammate did. So hey, it all works.
It does. It works right out, man. Yeah, it's been a good carryover, man, because he won it last year, and then man, it really has been a nice time here, man.
It'll all go back to Chase Elliott winning that championship. That's what sparked the flame.
I think when Chase Elliott won the Winston Cup championship, because I'm still going to call it that.
That's what it is.
For a couple of reasons. Main one is tribute to the man. When Chase Elliott won the Winston Cup championship, that was when the levee broke, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's Atlanta's time.
My time. It's my time.
For real.
So, and there was redemption with this NASCAR champion. Kyle Larson was crowned the champion today, and just went through a tough time as far as getting an attempted canceling of him, and just to get some redemption going and just showing just how good he was in the years he spent at Ganassi, and just everybody being like, I don't know if Kyle can do it. I don't know
about this guy.
Yeah, he's good and all. Then they put him in cars that could actually do something. Like he kicked everybody's ace. So good for him. As what I'll say.
Not too shabby, man. Seriously.
Heck yeah, man. So, just with all that going on, there was some. Apparently, there's more. Just the whole WWE roster's gone, and it's just Roman and freaking Matt Riddle. I guess I don't know.
Here's my thing about the latest round of WWE releases. A, how can you be surprised? And B, thank God. I'm going to start at the top, and then I'll work down to the people I'm equally happy about. Thank God they released Keith Lee. That guy is going to be a fucking monster, and I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. I've seen Keith Lee. I saw him at Center Stage. Him and Shane Taylor were a tag team, and it's like, this cat right here, watch the fuck out. I love it. If they weren't going to do anything with him, this is great. Releasing him and Mia Yim together, fantastic. And that's my other thing. Yeah. It's like, I know we talk about this all the time, but anytime they start releasing people from that women's roster, that is nothing but great news for AEW if they bust out the checkbook, which I'm sure they will. There's no reason they won't. But dude, if you just do Mia Yim and freaking oh my God, I just forgot her, Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Brother, you give Ember Moon all the money that she wants, and then give her a little extra, because she's that good. I just can't. There's one other one too. They released another one of the girls that is just so good, and I can't believe I forgot who it was. But those were the two that I was just like, y'all, get on it. Get on it right now.
And going back to the round of releases after Mania, and this one here, to me, it just feels like we're going to give Triple H the old middle finger to here's what we think of your show.
Yeah, it feels like it. And to me, we've talked about this for the longest time, man. The fact that Triple H's main tag team partner in NXT is Cody Rhodes' dad, and the whole crown or the whole throne thing and shit like that. I'm telling you, Cody and Trips are tight. I'll be shocked if they're not. So the whole idea of Triple H showing up at AEW and pulling a Shane McMahon, except like, well, I bought WCW, Dad. Instead of that, it's just like, no, fuck you, Vince. I work here now. It would not surprise me a bit. Not one bit. Because he shows up, he's doing that thing, and then you can book him versus Triple H, or him versus CM Punk, which is the thing everybody wanted to see. Maybe I'm nuts, but that's what it feels like to me. It feels like this entire thing has been the de-wire or the deprogramming of NXT, because AEW is NXT, which thank God, because it sounds really shitty to say you pull for people's releases, but there are some people that get released that it's not like they're going to go hungry. They're going to be, it's the same thing with, oh man, Ring of Honor fired everybody. I'm like, do you really think you're not going to see Jay Briscoe again? Do you really think that Jay Lethal won't? Or do you think Jonathan Gresham is not going to wrestle professionally ever again? Are you out of your mind? Come on. But the deal with the NXT AEW crossover, if you do that shit can't happen fast enough for me. And also Kyle O'Reilly, he's another one that apparently is on the way out, which is awesome, because that'll put all three of the the UE guys down there, which is awesome. And speaking of the UE guys, have you seen Bobby Fish in AEW?
Oh yes.
What the fuck kind of pause button did they hit on him? That guy looks like a fucking murderer. It's great. It is, oh man, Bryan Danielson, he's going to kick everyone's ass. Wonderful. And if Bryan Danielson's going to kick their ass, man, try and convince me that Bobby Fish is not going to murder him in the ring. He is fucking awesome. He's looking rough as shit, and I love it. Like, all right, go on, Bobby, damn.
Yeah. And there was so much gnashing of teeth over, they released couples. Like, it's the kiss of death to be a couple in that company.
No shit.
Don't
I love it. I couldn't
don't
believe
hook
they
up with
released.
anybody. Where was the crying for Mike and Maria? Where was the crying for Zack Ryder? And just a few months later, his fiance,
It's fiance. My
girlfriend
fiance,
gets on,
Chelsea Green.
and that they won't let Charlotte Flair go just because of it. It's either the kiss of death or it's a punishment to be in a relationship in that company. You're either going to get going together or we're going to keep you from them.
Yeah, between Charlotte and what
and
the hell's her name on the show?
The Idol.
No. Aleister Black's wife. I just completely forgot her character name.
Zelina.
Thank you, Zelina Vega. Man, I could think it was a real name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing. Where all of a sudden it's like, oh man, Vince told me after the show you came in here a queen and now you've got the crown. I'm like, fuck off, man. Either give her back her fucking video game shit or fuck you. I don't want to hear any of this bullshit. Fuck off. But that's more positive stuff. And I know Xavier Woods isn't going anywhere, but you do know this is fascinating that Adam Cole is now basically doing the AEW Games channel with Evil Uno. And he's not Adam Cole. He's the Chugs, which is fantastic because if you like Up, Down, Down, we all love Chugs.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's keep doing this. It's cool. But the what was I thinking of? It was the shucks. I forgot her name. Jessamine Duke and now Mia Yim. Okay, so the best roommates ever are starting to pile up over here. So it's like, okay, this is gonna be good, man.
Literally every person on that list this last go round, I was like, good for them.
I feel the exact
the least
same
bit
way.
Sorry.
I felt the exact same way. There was nobody that I was like, oh darn. I'm like, nah, man. Oh man, what about Keith Lee, dude? I wanted Keith Lee to be released since the second they pulled it. The second they yank those two belts off of him and pull him up to the main roster, you wanted him to
going well.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, man. It's like, nah, he should have been in NXT defending those titles. Same with Adam Cole. The fact that my thing with AEW, NXT, my thing with NXT has always been that you picked Ciampa and Gargano and not Adam Cole and Keith Lee. You're fucking crazy. You are crazy. But okay, Tommaso, you can call your shot. You can do anything you want to. I think Ciampa's boring as shit. He's not my guy. I think Gargano's worse than him. They're good, but I don't like him as much as I like those other guys. I just don't, man. And, well, what about DIY? The Revival don't work there anymore, so I don't care. They're not they're not a tag team, but also the Revival ain't there anymore, so who cares? Yeah. But I'm totally with you. I really liked this last round of releases because I was just happy for everybody. I totally agree.
It was either people I was glad to see go or people I was like, why the hell were they there in the first place?
Are you still there? Yeah.
Eva Marie. What the hell did you bring her back for in the first place?
Dude, the whole Eva Marie thing, it's all like, cool. They are officially, basically, I know people say this about Charlotte all the time, man, but the women's division now, it is Alexa and then whoever the fuck is second. That's how it is. That's it. She's the only person they're going to give a shit about. She's the only one they care about. And it's like, cool. I won't find out because I haven't watched it in a long time and I have no interest in coming back.
I didn't despise Nia Jax as much as some people did.
Yeah, me neither. But I thought that turning Nia into Aaron Rodgers was kind of funny. It's like, oh, really? WWE cares about COVID protocol now?
Now?
Really? Now you care about it? Okay. All right, then. Okay. But yeah, I didn't dislike Nia as much as other people did either, but the whole thing about, oh my God, what will Nia Jax do? Well, she can always go back to her fucking modeling career. She was making crazy money before WWE. She got into it because she is big and strong and The Rock's cousin. She'll find other shit to do.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. You telling me Hollywood can't find a role for her, man? I mean, I know people get mad because Nia Jax is rough. She hurts people in the ring. It's funny to me that we're okay. We have a huge problem with Nia Jax hurting people in the ring, but Randy Orton throwing the fucking Singh brothers around like they're goddamn crash test dummies. Oh, that's hilarious. Fuck you, man. I don't want to hear that shit. Just keep that same fucking energy. My main thing being, who is Nia actually legitimately hurt? Who's been put on the shelf because she busted Becky Lynch's face open? Oh, you mean she made fucking Becky Lynch what she is? Is that what we're talking about? Because, Bret Hart and Steve Austin had a very similar incident. But, okay, so you really want to hold that against her? Because if you don't have Becky Lynch with the busted fucking face doing the Rocky Balboa face, you don't have the man. So, and also I don't recall Becky missing any time over that. If Becky's not pissed about it, why am I supposed to be?
Yeah. That's it's a lot of the gripes against her. I think were extra nitpicky just because who she was related to.
Yeah, because of who she was related to and because of what her waist size is. Period, point blank. I don't give a good goddamn if Nia Jax looked like Alexa Bliss, she'd go set motherfuckers on fire and nobody would complain about how dangerous a worker she is. Or the fact that she's The Rock's cousin. Get the fuck out of here, man. People didn't want to fuck Nia Jax, so they had no problem talking shit about her. That's the fucking facts, man.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
It's the truth, man. It's the truth.
Yeah. And the whole there was some type of interview that Karrion Kross did, and somebody got around to asking like his wardrobe change, like they were supposed to be like, "Yeah, man, I loved it. I thought it was great." What do you think he was going to say? It sucked.
There was one tweet where it's just silly, but I thought it was funny because this is a quote. Some dude was talking about, "Hey man, you think I can get that helmet?" his reply tweet was, "Man, nobody wants to wear that piece of shit." I go on to tell him, but it did surprise me. Him getting released didn't surprise me, but them releasing Scarlett did. I'll be honest with you, I was very surprised by that. Because when you see her, it's like, oh yeah, I can see exactly why they signed these two. But letting them both go is great because they're a good tandem. They're a good tag team. They work well together, and it's like, oh, this is great. This is cool. I'm happy for those guys because Karrion Kross is not really my dude. He's fine. The it's good. It's like Andrade and Zelina. Thank you for reminding me what they called her. I've just gotten so used to seeing her real name that now I don't remember what her stage name is.
Yeah.
But Andrade and Zelina were such a good package. It's the same thing with those two. They work well together, and it's very, very cool. So, hey, man, this is all good. Let them go back, and it's all good. And I'll talk about AEW, because the AEW stuff we already talked about, man. Keith Lee, absolutely. If you don't break the bank to get Keith Lee, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. But going back to Mickie James, going back to Ruby Riott, like we talked about, man, I thought Mickie James was who they really should have focused on because, man, you want someone to train. Almost all the girls in your division are young. You want someone to train them up right. Oh, my God. But still, it's okay. It's all good. It's not like you can't. They're doing good. The women's division is getting better, but, oh, man, you want to make it even better than it is? You give Ember Moon a check because I know we've talked about it. It's very difficult. I think if you're just a fan of WWE, the WWE women's division, basically when you had the NXT women's division kind of lead the women's revolution, which would go, man, I'm Nikki Bella, and I'm the one that started the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. No, the fuck you didn't. You did not. Paige and Emma are the ones that put the match on where people watching wrestling were like, what the hell am I seeing? And then you kept paying attention to the NXT women's division, and then you had the horsewomen. Dude, that was it. That was it, and that's really cool. So that era of like the NXT women's division becoming the WWE women's division, it's very difficult, in my opinion, to pick your favorite's always fun, but who you would nominate as the best is really hard because there's some talented fucking people there. There really are. But I tell you what, man, if you make a list. If you can get past 4 and you haven't put Ember Moon on there, I'm not sure we agree, man, because Ember's bad. So, pardon me, good Lord. I really hope that she's somebody they make a very serious move for, because I just think she's great.
If the rumors are true about the WOW Women of Wrestling show going into the Ring of Honor spot, holy Lord, would she be a good fit for that?
That's a really good point. I want AEW to go after her, but you know what? That might be even better. Honestly, it really might be, and that would just be the coolest. That'd be so cool. It's just neat because another thing also, man. I mean, I can't imagine being a woman in professional wrestling and the idea of being not on the show, but the show, that's got to be appealing. It has to be. So, man, anybody that signs with WoW, I don't blame you a bit because, again, it's like we've talked about it before, man. And AEW, I think AEW's done a pretty good job of it, man. Where when you have all these different titles and all these different TV shows, you do not need the world champion on TV. That's not the point. The world champion, that's what pay per view is for. But, dude, have your TV shows headlined by your tag team titles, which are world tag team titles. Your women's championship is a world title. Your TV title is a TV title, man. So now that you've got a women's TV title and a men's TV, dude, you can always rotate around whatever your main event is. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a belt. Just make it some blood feud, man. We want to beat the crap out of each other. All of that works. I think all that's cool. It's something, excuse me, we've talked about it before, where tuning in to see what Stone Cold does this week or tuning in to see what The Rock has to say, man, making the champ the only feature on all of your shows is fucking stupid. That is a huge mistake. You put him right in the middle of the show, you have Ric Flair come out and cut the promo with Tony Schiavone, and then that's the last time you see him. I just don't understand that, especially if you got that many championships, man. You can headline your TV show with a championship match in so many different ways. It ain't got to be Kenny Omega. It ain't got to be Hangman Page, who I really do hope is about to win that thing. It's not like that. I think that's cool. I like that kind of stuff. And they seem to be doing a pretty good job of that. So I'm happy about that. Pardon me. That being said, if you want to go to AEW and tangle with Britt Baker, I get it. If you want to go to Women of Wrestling and be, again, not on the show, but the show, I get that too. I totally get that too. And like you said, if they're getting Ring of Honor spot, if they're up in like the payments and like what the contracts they're giving to people, hey man, I would love it if they went to AEW, but I understand if you don't. I really get it.
Her, me, and both. I could see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. I could see both of those going down that way.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Mia is one of the people that I heard the name several times, and then I was like, okay. And then you see like one match, and it's like, shit. Yeah, it's like, dude, and really, I mean, Ember's got a lot of that too. But Mia Yim, especially the first time I ever saw Mia Yim work, it's like, oh shit. It's like it totally, all the hype made sense. Like, yeah, y'all nailed this one. But so now I think you're completely right that. But how cool is that? Like we talk about, man, with all the bitching and fussing about, well, it's not doing as good as it did in the 50s. Pro wrestling's not doing as good as it did in the 80s. So, like, you've got women who are getting $100,000 contracts, and it's not going one place. You have multiple places you can work. You can negotiate, man. I mean, if you get Tony Khan makes you an offer, and then you get a better offer from WoW, you can go back to Tony Khan and be like, hey, man, these guys offered me such and such. Dude, it's the same thing we talked about with Randy Orton using AEW to get more money out of WWE. I can't stand Randy Orton. Anyone who's ever watched the show knows I got no time for Randy Orton. But he played that situation exactly like he should have. Edge did the same thing. Dude, go talk to AEW. Get an offer and be like, hey, man, this is what it's going to cost. They're offering me this. What do you think? Hey, man, that's exactly what you should do. So for Edge, who I do like, Randy Orton, who I don't like, man, dude, for these women who've just been released to do the same thing, hey, I want you to do the same thing, man. So I would love to see you in AEW if the money is better, if the opportunity is better, or if it's just what you want to do. I mean, dude, if you can go to AEW and they give you more money, or you can go to World of Women of Wrestling and it's what you want to do, dude, whichever one you pick is totally cool. It's totally cool. But I'm glad you mentioned Mia, because that was my whole thing is like, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Who am I forgetting? So thank you, because you're right. It's like, yeah, Ember Moon and Women of Wrestling, that'd be cool, but it's not just her. Crap. Thank you. They had Mia too. Nia Jax too. Hey man, if they want to bring Nia over, that got no problem. It's cool. All that stuff is cool, man. Oh, I'm sorry. I knew there was somebody else I meant to mention by name, and I'm sorry it's taking this long. Taya freaking Valkyrie. I cannot believe they were stupid enough to let her go this early.
Yeah.
anywhere, and including back to Impact. Anywhere, dude. Like, yes, it's like you said. It sucks to be so happy that people got released, but I'm thrilled people got released because the people we're talking about, they are not going to be without a job, man.
Yeah. I mean, just fine.
Oh, dude, they're not going to be without work. It's going to be good.
Heck yeah, man. So I pretty much all knows what's going on.
Yeah, man, I think that was it. I'm sorry to say I haven't like made any notes on anything, man. I just want to talk Atlanta sports with the man.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
But I'm 100% with you on releases. I guess this is not my money. I shouldn't say I'm happy, but as a selfish jerky fan, I'm happy. I really am, man.
A breakup's hard. In at any time, but I don't. It's not as much doom and gloom.
Yeah. Sometimes people wind up better off. It's all good.
And Dennis Miller put it this way when people will come up to him after the Monday Night Football thing didn't go the way he wanted it to. He was like, "Man, the highest rung of showbiz pain doesn't even come close to the lowest rung of real life pain. I'm going to be just fine. Don't worry about me."
Dennis Miller did the complete opposite of Keith Olbermann, where Olbermann's talking about, 9/11, man. I'm walking around and I'm seeing people on the streets, and I'm asking them, "Are you okay? Are you doing okay?" And the police officer's like, "No, man, I'm worried. And I'm like, yeah. And he says, "I'm worried about the Mets. Their bullpen. I don't know." And I'm like, "How could that possibly matter?" And I'm like, he's making this shit up.
Yeah.
I think Olbermann's a liar anyway. And it's the same thing. I say it all the time. And I love The Who. I don't mean to trash Pete Townsend. Pete Townsend told the story about Jimi Hendrix setting his guitar on fire at Woodstock. It was all like, they had other people, guys in the band, like Roger. He was all so mad. He's like, "Man, he's ripping you off. He's stealing your act." And I said, "He's not stealing my act. He's doing my act." I'm like, "You're a fucking liar. You were the one having the shit fit, throwing stuff. He's stealing my act." And it was John Entwistle or Roger Daltrey who's like, "Will you calm down, you fucking queen? He's not stealing your act. He's doing it. He's better at it than you are. Calm down." There's no reason, there's nobody that would corroborate that story, but I'll believe it till I'm dead. Same thing with Olbermann. He's making that shit up. He's a fucking liar. He's a liar.
It's there. A lot of comedians will go after that certain comedian or whoever that's known for being a joke stealer, and I guess it has to be done, but at the same time, it's not that big a deal to a lot of them. It's like, "Look, man, I know I can do it again. That guy can't."
Yeah.
So that's and I'm not saying Jimi Hendrix couldn't do it again. I'm just saying that you'll come up with something else. It'll be fine. You'll be all right.
If we're talking Jimi Hendrix versus Pete Townsend,
that's a bad comparison. I'm not trying to make
sure
that
I know
the
who
one
wins that one. And that's the thing. It's all like, "No, Pete, you were having a fucking fit," because Pete's a drama queen anyway. I mean, if you've ever seen Pete Townsend interview, he is very whiny and very lacking self-confidence. He very much has I don't know what Pete's problem is, but it's like, nah, there's no way that you're like, "No, this is fine. This guy's setting his guitar on fire. No, it's okay." Bullshit. You were crying about it the whole time, and I guarantee you, I'm convinced it was Entwistle because he was so laid back all the time. Like, "Man, will you please stop your crying? My God, man, we're gonna go out and we're gonna play a set, and it's gonna be awesome." You want to know why? Because we're the freaking Who. Relax. It's fine, Pete. For the love of God.
One of the best Who stories I've ever heard is Roger. And I don't know how many times he's been married. As far as I know, I think he's had a pretty steady relationship his whole career. And it came up between him and his wife. And he's like, "I'm the leader of the Who. There's going to be other women." And that's all they had to say. That's all. It was done. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
just know that going in.
Yeah, that's my thing with all that. Like, I guess if you marry a rock singer, you have to expect it.
Mhm.
But if you're a rock singer and you get married, and she hires the right divorce lawyer and cleans your ass out because of that, I don't hear no bitching. As
Yeah.
long as it goes both ways, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
As long as you both have that Gene Simmons, Shannon Tweed thing of like, we're right here in the middle. And I say this all the time. It's actually, this is stupid, but my thing with Gene Simmons, I love Kiss. We've talked about it before. We're both huge Kiss fans. And I think Gene Simmons is a complete tool. Except I can't think that. And I'll tell you why. And it's not Shannon Tweed. It's maybe if you ever watched that reality show, which the Gene Simmons Family Jewels was like the Osbournes, but actually worth watching. Because the Ozzy show I thought sucked. I didn't like it. It's too fake. And the Simmons show is fake too, except for there's one element of it that you can't fake. And if you watch their stuff in the subsequent years after that show, they're still not faking it. Gene Simmons might be a complete dick, and I think he is. But him and Shannon are still together, which I think is very cool. But man, if you watch that guy with his kids, it's like we talked about with David Lynch, man. David Lynch's kids love him. Gene Simmons' kids love him, and more to the point, he is obsessed with them. That shit is cool, man. It's like Gene Simmons is a big douchebag or whatever, but you know what? Gene Simmons, daddy of these two kids, he's cool as hell, and I love that. I think I don't know why, but that's just so endearing to me, man. They all get along so well. I love it. I think it's so cool, man. And I think it says an awful lot about not the persona, but the actual person, because I mean, they would know a version of him that none of us know. And what a neat thing. I love that. I think that's very cool.
I'm down with that, man.
Yeah, man.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up.
I extended this crap way long by saying all that.
that's how we do things.
I forgot we hadn't turned the tape off.
Uh-oh. Man, that's what's up, man.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for the call, man. And also, thank you for the delay, because we were supposed to do this yesterday, but I'm a bum and I fell asleep. So the man hooked me up and called today. Thank you for doing that, man.
Man, that's all good, man.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all.
Take it easy, y'all. Thank you for watching.
All righty. Bye.